The Dinosaur Files, A Mysterious Egg, Book 1 by Stacy McAnulty. Frank and his cousin Sam are staying with Graham and Pop-Pop for the summer. Graham and Pop-Pop are paleontologists, scientists who study prehistoric life like dinosaurs, and they work at a dig site near their home. A dig site is an area where scientists can dig up fossils. Frank loves to help, and when he does help, he feels like a paleontologist too. One day, a fossilized egg was found and brought back to the science lab. Sam wants to hit that egg with a hammer, and Frank is frantic, yelling, "Stop!" While they are arguing, the egg begins to crack. When the dinosaur hatches, they decide to keep it a secret from everyone, including Graham and Pop-Pop. How long will they be able to keep this secret? Will Frank and Sam really be able to take care of a dinosaur all on their own? Will hiding the dinosaur be easy? Read this fun book to find out all the adventures and disasters that Frank, Sam, and the dinosaur have together. Will they ever have to tell a grown-up their secret? At the end of this book, Graham comes running into the house yelling that there's another big surprise at the dig site. If you want to find out what this surprise is, you'll have to read Book 2, The Dinosaur Files, Too Big to Hide. And if you like Book 2, you can always read Book 3. It's not a dinosaur.
Fenris and Mott by Greg Van Eekhout. Mott and her mother have moved across the country to California for her mother's new job that didn't quite pan out. Mott now has a lot of free time since her best friend and fellow root beer vlogger is in Germany with her family for the summer. When Mott finds a fluffy white puppy in a recycling bin, her life is forever changed, because what she found was not actually a puppy, but a wolf pup, also known as Fenris, the Norse mythological wolf who will bring about Ragnarok, aka the end of the world. When Mott makes a promise to keep Fenris safe, she underestimated what would happen next. Visits from Norse gods and a Valkyrie for a start. Will Mott be able to fulfill her promise to Fenris and keep him safe from ending the world? Read and find out.
The Inflatables and Bad Air Day by Beth Garrod. This series is perfect for fans of Aaron Blabby's The Bad Guys. So here comes a brand new group, though, of unlikely heroes, the Inflatables. So pictured on the cover, we have Cactus, Donut, Watermelon, and Flamingo, and not pictured here is Lynn. This group of Inflatables, they normally spend their days peacefully, floating around the lost and found pool of the park. But everything changes when Cactus shares the news that a new wave pool is opening up. A new wave pool means lots of cameras. And lots of cameras means that this could be Flamingo's big break. Flamingo always knew he was destined to be a star. After all, the word destiny is kind of written on his butt. See, it says he's supposed to be a star. Well, together, the Inflatables must come up with a daring plan to cross the park and get Flamingo in front of the cameras. But will a flock of familiar faces from Flamingo's past burst his bubble? Well, get ready, world. Flamingo is about to blow up. So, if you enjoyed this first book of the Inflatable series, there's already 2 more Inflatables out and ready to be checked out from the library. I hope you give them a shot.
Isla of Adventure. Welcome to the island. Isla lives with her mother on the island of Soul. The island means everything to her. It's beautiful, full of adventure, delicious food, and some very quirky animals. Isla loves the life she has, but she does carry one secret, one amazing secret. She can talk to animals. Her very best friend happens to be a gecko named Fitz. But one day, a girl moves next door. Isla is excited, but also a little worried. She wants to have a human best friend, but the new girl, Tora, just seems so put together. And Isla is the type of girl to get messy and into adventures. But both girls come together to work as a team when a troublesome seagull steals Tora's special button that was a gift from her grandma. Can the girls track down the seagull? Will Isla's secret come out? And, most importantly, will they stay friends? Read Welcome to the Island to get some sunshine in your life and to find out what happens.
Hi, I'm Rebecca and I'm excited to tell you about a new series called The Mythics. The first book in the series is Marina and the Kraken. It's by Lauren Magaziner. So in the first book, 10-year-old Marina and her family live in Terra Familiar, and today is Pairing Day. On Pairing Day, Marina and all the other 10-year-olds who live in Terra Familiar get their lifelong animal companions called familiars. Marina's older brother has a sea lion familiar, her dad has a crab, the mayor has a woodpecker. But at the end of the Pairing Day ceremony, Marina doesn't have a familiar. As it turns out, she and 4 other girls did not get their animal pairings today. The mayor keeps saying this is unprecedented, but what does it mean for these 5 girls? Well, legend tells them that they are mythics. Long ago, the Mythics kept Terra Familiar safe with the help of their pairings called mythies, which were mythical beasts. The Mythics appear in this world when trouble is brewing, and in order for the girls to find their mythies, they must earn them in a quest of courage. The first book of the series focuses on Marina, who is smart and capable, if only she can control her anxiety and the terrible what-ifs that creep into her thoughts. Based on the title, you can probably guess what Marina's mythy will be, but that does not diminish the adventures the mythies face as they hit the open seas to find Marina's new BFF for life, and she just might find 4 more BFFs along the journey. The second book in the series, Haley and the Dragon, comes out in May. Hey, I'm Rebecca. I'm here to tell you about a series I think you might like. Once Upon a Time by Stuart Gibbs is not your average fairy tale. Sure, there are knights, a prince, a princess, and even a royal magician, but the unexpected twists make this funnier and more interesting than any ordinary fairy tale. And do regular fairy tales have IQ boosters built into the text? So you don't even mind that you're learning impressive new words like malodorous and provincial. So in this book, Tim and his best friend Belinda are peasants in the Kingdom of Wild. Tim is dissatisfied with peasant life and wants to become a knight in an attempt to improve his lot in life. When Princess Grace of the neighboring kingdom is abducted by an evil monster, Prince Ruprecht of the Kingdom of Wild decides he will rescue her. But since he is not brave or daring, he needs to round up some knights to help him with this rescue. That's where Tim comes in. He's found his chance to move up in the world. Does Tim have what it takes to become a knight and rescue a princess? Or is he destined to be a peasant forever? Read book 1 in the Once Upon a Tim series to find out. And if you enjoy that, book 2, The Labyrinth of Doom, is already available.
Hi, I'm Miss Bailey, and this is book 1 in the Spooky Sleuths series. If you like creepy books like me, you'll want to read this. So book 1, The Ghost Tree, features a Sim and his family who have just moved to Lionsgate, Washington, an island. It's known for being super weird. There's always strange noises, there's eerie lights, there's odd things flying in the sky. A Sim's parents now work at Eden Lab, which is a very big research facility on the island. And there's also a big cemetery on the island, which makes a Sim very nervous. He loves supernatural things, but he doesn't really want to go bumping into supernatural things. So, of course, a Sim finds himself one day in the cemetery, and while he's there, he notices a very creepy tree. In fact, this tree seems to grow and change each day, which has to be impossible, right? And there's even like this goo dripping off of it. And so a sim witnesses an adult touch the tree they're trying to clean up in the cemetery, and the adult gets burned from the goo, and then suddenly he changes into this very mean person when they're not known for being mean. And he's beginning to realize this tree is doing some evil in the town. So with his new group of friends, a sim and the friends have to try and save the town from this tree. But will the tree get burned in the end? So like I said, this is book 1, and we do have book 2 at the library as well. I hope you enjoy.
Stuck by Jennifer Swender. It's almost the end of the school year, but Austin and his mother are packing up because they are moving again. You see, Austin moves a lot. When he gets to his new school, the teacher is usually not happy that there's a new student, especially in the middle of the school year. But when Austin walks into his new classroom, Miss G, his newest teacher at his newest school, is pretty cool. Austin usually tries to be invisible. He does this knowing he's probably just going to move again and to hide a secret. Austin's quietness does not prevent Birdie, one of the girls in class, from trying to be his friend. Also, D, a boy in class, is not quite as friendly. At least that's how it seems. As time goes on, Ms. G finds out what Austin's secret is. What will she do with this new knowledge about Austin? Oh well, it doesn't really matter because Austin will probably just be moving again anyway. Or will he? Read Stuck by Jennifer Swender. Find out what happens with Austin and Birdie, what Dee really thinks of Austin, and what secret Austin is hiding. It's such a great story, written in a way that will make you feel like you're sitting in class right next to Austin.
Hi everyone, I want to tell you all about The Truth About series by Annette Whipple. This is an awesome nonfiction series for anyone who wants to learn about some maybe new or familiar animals. So these books are written in question and answer style. So each page will ask a question. So in this case, can an owl spin their head around? And then with some really pretty photographs and a little bit of helpful text, the book will answer that question. And there will also be sometimes a cartoon version of the animal in question. It will have a little bit of a sassy input to add. So for example, in the book, The Truth About Dogs, one of the questions asked is, why do dogs sniff butts? Well, turns out that dogs sniff butts because they can learn a lot about another dog that way. For example, they can learn if that dog is a boy or a girl. They can learn what they ate for breakfast or even what their mood is. So in a sense, this is just a dog's way of saying hello. Plus, a really fun bonus is at the back of each book, one of the last pages or close to the last pages of a story includes an activity that you can do to learn a little bit more about the animal. So in the case of The Truth About Dogs, there's an activity to learn how to make your own dog toy. And in The Truth About Spiders, there's an activity where you can learn how to make your own spider web and then kind of see what you can catch in a man-made spider web. And then in the book, Who Knew The Truth About Owls, one of the activities, this one requires a bit of a special material, so you might not be able to do this one just at home without getting some special supplies. Teaches you how to look at an owl pellet. And if you don't know what an owl pellet is, that's something you're definitely going to learn about in this book. And you can learn from this activity how you can dissect an owl pellet and what you might find inside of one. So these are awesome nonfiction books, like I said, that teach you a lot about animals you thought maybe you already knew a lot about, or maybe animals you didn't know that much about. So keep an eye out because we have even more truth about series coming to the library, like the truth about cats and the truth about frogs. And then later this year, Annette Whipple will be coming out with another one of the series, which will be the truth about sharks. I hope you enjoy.
I'm going to talk to you about a nonfiction series that many of you may be familiar with. It's called the Who HQ series. All right, and a lot of you may be familiar with it. Like, what is the World Cup? Who is Michael Jordan? So there's a lot of biographies and then some history explanations. So we have them in, it's like our regular, typical biography form. But then we also have the new graphic novels. So Who is the Man in the Air? This is another one about Michael Jordan, but it's in graphic novel form. It's kind of a hybrid graphic novel, so it has some graphic novel parts, and then it'll also have some of the history as well. All right, other ones we have here. All right, so we have Who is Nikola Tesla? We have this big fancy one here. The Who Was History of the World. So this one's a lot thicker than the others, but it's got a lot more information in there about different historical events like the Underground Railroad, Fueling the Future, the 7 Years' War. So if you like histories, it's a great one to check out. Okay. In addition to those series, we have two other series. Okay, The Story Of, this one happens to be Jane Goodall for her work with chimpanzees. And then we also have the She Persisted series, and this one is about Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Okay, and we have lots of others within all these series there. If you're interested in these, some of these you may have in your school, but you can also come to the library and check out what we have as well.